Russia has once again sparked panic in the international community by warning international companies that their commercial satellites could be military targets if they work with Western governments on intelligence and communications. A Russian representative named Konstantin Vorontsov did this at a United Nations working group meeting on reducing space threats. While the threat broadly applies to several companies, Elon Musk's SpaceX may be targeted in particular, given Musk's confrontation with Russia since Ukraine's invasion. So how is Elon Musk's SpaceX involved? In today's video, we are showing you the involvement of SpaceX and why Russia warned the company. Watch the video until the end and stay tuned for more uploads like this. Here we begin. Vorontsov, a former acting deputy director of Russia's Foreign Ministry Department, did not mention SpaceX or Starlink by name, but they did issue a threat. According to the unofficial translation in the statement, he said specifically the use of civilians, including commercial infrastructure in outer space for military purposes by the United States and its allies. It appears that our colleagues did not realize that such actions constitute indirect involvement in military conflicts, Vorontsov said. Therefore, retaliation may legitimately target quasi-civilian infrastructure. The entire message. A member of the Russian Foreign Ministry, Konstantin Vorontsov, said at a meeting of the United Nations OEWG, an open-ended working group on reducing space threats, that space was evolving into a launching pad for aggression and war. They highlighted the harmful trend going beyond the harmless use of some technologies in outer space, which has now become apparent during the Ukraine events. Our colleagues are unaware that such actions constitute indirect participation in military conflicts and that quasi-civilian infrastructure may become a legitimate target for retaliation. Western countries' actions needlessly jeopardize the sustainability of peaceful outer space activities, as well as several social and economic processes on planet Earth that affect people's well-being, particularly in developing countries. At a minimum, the statement continued, this provocative use of civilian satellites is under question as per the Outer Space Treaty, which provides for the sole peaceful use of technologies in outer space and must be highly condemned by the international community. Recently, he tweeted, Starlink is only for peaceful use. SpaceX has delivered over 12,000 Starlink dishes to Ukraine to keep the country connected during its conflict with Russia. The system provides high-speed broadband to various civilian areas across the country, including hospitals, residences, and businesses. It's no secret, however, that the Ukrainian military has been using Starlink to send encrypted messages and control drones capable of attacking Russian forces. This all started when a Ukrainian soldier told a journalist, I'd like to say one thing, Elon Musk's Starlink is what turned the war in Ukraine's favor. Elon Musk, as well as his Starlink satellites, are likely to have enraged Russia the most in the past year, after the SpaceX CEO handed Ukraine over 10,000 dish antennas since Putin's invasion began. These satellites have been used in a variety of settings, as well as to help control drones used to combat invading Russian forces. Aside from Starlink, other commercial satellite imagery firms, including Planet, Black Sky, and Maxar, have also played an important role in the war effort opposing Russia, providing intelligence by photographing the conflict from above and openly sharing it. For example, Planet Labs images from early August revealed that a Ukrainian attack over a Russian military base situated in Crimea caused higher damage than Russia claimed in public reports. The diplomats of Russia went on to warn the United Nations against adopting fragmented or non-inclusive rules to regulate space activities that don't take into account the approaches of all the UN member states and seek to ensure a small group of states' space dominance. Instead, it urged members to focus on assuming national and international obligations not to place any kind of weapons in outer space, as well as prohibit the threat and use of force against or utilizing space objects, as well as implement a whole and comprehensive ban on strike weapons in the outer space to be used against space objects. It needs to be clarified how serious Russia is about attacking Starlink. Russia previously raised concerns to the West by using an anti-satellite missile to destroy one of their own satellites in a test known as an ASAT late last year. In addition, it caused numerous pieces of space debris to fly toward the International Space Station, forcing astronauts to take cover in their spacecraft for fear of being hit by the debris. In response, the United States condemned Russia's missile test, claiming that the country was endangering space for all. Since then, SpaceX's own Starlink satellites have had to avoid the debris field repeatedly. It's also possible that the Kremlin has attempted to hack Starlink. The United States and its allies have already blamed Russia for launching a February cyber attack that temporarily disrupted internet service at rival satellite provider Viasat. China, Russia's ally, is also concerned about Starlink. In April, a group of Chinese researchers affiliated with the country's defense industry urged China to develop methods to disrupt and destroy Starlink. Russia is still training its military space elements as well as field new anti-satellite weapons to disrupt and degrade US and allied space capabilities, while it's developing, testing as well as fielding an array of non-destructive and destructive counterspace weapons, including jamming and cyberspace capabilities, directed energy weapons on orbit capabilities, and ground-based ASAT capabilities, according to the U.S. intelligence community's 2022 annual threat assessment released in March. What was the peace plan by Elon? Earlier, in a tweet, Musk proposed a plan to restore peace in Eastern Europe and end the Russia-Ukraine conflict, redo elections and annex regions under UN supervision, he wrote. Russia will leave if the people so desire. Crimea is somehow a part of Russia, as it has been since 1783, except for Khrushchev's error. Water supply from Crimea is guaranteed. Ukraine maintains its neutrality. The Tesla CEO also polled the Twitterati, with Westerners voting overwhelmingly against his proposal. This is likely to be the end result. It's just a matter of how many people die before then. It's also worth noting that nuclear war is a possible, unlikely outcome of this conflict, it tweeted. When asked whether Starlink would provide satellite internet access coverage in Ukraine, Elon Musk responded, "What people desire should decide whether they're part of Ukraine or Russia, but Russia invaded areas that would choose to be part of Ukraine." The Tesla CEO kept communications open in Ukraine during Russia's invasion. According to reports, Ukrainian military outposts used Starlink terminals to coordinate operations and carry out artillery strikes ordered by commanders. Musk responded to the discussion with another tweet asking Twitter users about giving residents of Donbas and Crimea, regions already annexed by Russia, the ability to choose whether they want to join Ukraine or Russia. Let's try this. The will of the people living in the Donbas and Crimea should decide whether they're part of Russia or Ukraine, he tweeted. When told that his tweets has enraged Ukrainians, Tesla CEO retorted, "You're assuming that I want to be popular. I don't mind. I'm concerned that millions of people may die in vain for essentially the same outcome." He quickly followed up with another tweet saying, "Russia is doing partial mobilization. If Crimea is threatened, they go into full war mode. Death on both sides will be catastrophic. Because Russia has more than 3 times the population of Ukraine, victory in total war is unlikely. Seek peace if you care about the people of Ukraine." So, what do you think about SpaceX? Is it a threat to Russia? Should they destroy it? Share your views in the comments section below and subscribe for more.